Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 7 of Chic Chac Choe's game development series. Today we're gonna finish with what we started last episode. We're gonna finish with the rough final animations for the new episode. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So let's join me here. See ya. So where we left off, we had our characters in development. We basically did the first pose for Chule, and I've gone ahead and finished the rough animation, like this animation, for all the other characters, except one. I left the final one so I could do it here with you guys. In the end, I'm going to go ahead and play it so we can check it out together. So once again, the process is very easy. It's just I'm not going to go with full quality, like full animation. But as you can see, the animation is fairly smooth in all the characters, and they're very organic. That's what I'm going for. So yeah, so in this episode, we're gonna go ahead and follow the same techniques I've been discussing all over the place. In this case, we're using this little tool that has access to, if you can see below the arrow. It allows you to deform any shapes. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it to deform the bodies and deform shapes as I need to. We're gonna create new shapes inside these guys. As you can see, the file sequence, the elements within the graphics, they're pile up, but it's okay. It's not a problem. So for now, we have like 14 different legs, but it's gonna be okay. In the final animation, it's indifferent how many you have. So here we're swapping between the ones that are inside. There's some pretty useful commands. I might do a video on it afterwards to explain it and to explain like really the techniques that I've worked on and have learned through the past. And I'll go ahead and explain a little bit of each command that I've programmed and how I use it, how it helps me to be faster. So in this case, we're swapping through the mouth, through the eyes, through all the parts that I'd like to change. In this cow, the smear frames are gonna be very. I mean, it's not gonna look at all like the character that you will see, but it's okay. In the animation, it's gonna flow nicely, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and deform it a lot because it's supposed to look like a motion blur. So that's why I like to play with the shapes. And that's it. The shadow in the next frame is going to disappear, of course. As you can see. Look at this smear frame. It's like nothing as the original shape. But since they're supposed to be very organic creatures, then I'm like, oh, sure, let's deform it as much as we can. And why not? In the end, when you see the motion, I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and it's gonna look okay. So actually, if you check out this frame in particular, you can actually split the shape in different parts. Like here, I have 4 different parts, and it actually gives the illusion of more, like having more speed in a way. Even if the shapes are cut, it's totally okay. So don't worry about it. Here, the shape starts to recover, as you can see, like it's not so deformed so much. It's starting like to get again a cube kind of shape. So we're gonna go ahead and fill it up, or just rough colors, rough smear frames and stuff. The smears is something that I think is very, very personal the way you do it. There's no like rule how to do it. Just follow the flow. That's the only thing. Just follow the flow. So here what we're gonna do is it's gonna look very liquidy, kind of like a jelly kind of thing that is gonna swap inside. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for, so it's gonna be okay. Again, using the same tools that we discussed all over the place, the arrow, the lasso tool, the brush, using the paint tool, the choosing from the same shapes basically that we have. The whole idea is so it feels coherent, even if the shapes themselves make no sense individually and the drawing just looks bad. In the flow, in the animation flow, it's gonna look okay. So that's actually what I'm going for. Well, as you can see, these smear frames, I'm actually not grabbing the body and adding every single body inside the symbol, just because it's not necessary. It's not really necessary. Here you can see a little preview. What I was saying that is not that adding all the shapes in the body is not necessary is because these shapes are very particular to this motion, so it's not. I mean, it's unlikely that I'm gonna reuse it in an extra animation, like in another place. So I just leave it outside. It doesn't really bother me. It's okay. So again, all the rules are like, of course, to be broken. As you can see, it's all about the flow, all about having the characters feel nice. That's what it is. So one thing I haven't actually discussed is actually the roadmap of the game. I'm gonna do a video after this one, where I'm gonna show where we're headed actually, because the purpose of this animation is to be proof. Like I just want to know if this style is gonna work, if the background is gonna work, if all the elements are gonna work in motion in animation. There are so many things to throw away and throw down a project. Like you can do an illustration and it may look beautiful, but you bring it into an animation and suddenly it looks like not very nice. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the time to do a little proof that the motion is gonna work, that the style, that the colors are matching, at least the way I would like them to. So this is the purpose of these first videos, to get the proof going on. I also enjoy it. I mean, I have a lot of fun doing these little animations. So as you can see, even now, even at this point, I'm just doing one shape that includes the body, that includes everything, that includes basically all the parts of the body, and not worrying about having to add extra symbols, extra elements on the cow that I'm actually not going to use after. And this goes for all the other characters. They're all very loose. There's no need to be extremely rigid about it. But it's very important to be very organized. That is very important. So for example, what I'm talking about organized is, if you see the cow body layer, it's where I keep my body. I mean, I don't go back and forth in other layers where the arm's supposed to be and put the body suddenly there. No. The whole point is to be very, very, very organized at this point. Because if after I want to motion tween some of these guys, it's gonna make my life a lot easier having the file organized. So yeah, there we go. We have a little motion ready. Again, this video is sped up, and I'm gonna slow it down, of course, by the end, so you guys can see the animation slowly, and like in the speed I designed it, because right now it's pretty fast. Just keep that in mind. So yeah, now I'm cleaning up the file a little bit. I noticed there's some elements that are left behind. For example, the shadow, the legs. There's just a few elements that were left behind. So yeah, here what I'm doing now is I'm adding the shadow, actually, just so I can integrate it a little bit more with the background, so the elements don't look too separate. I just add a little bit of shadow, and it'll take care of the integration with it. In the other ones, in the other characters, what I did is, if you pay attention, I did like a little bit of a thingy that wraps around the character and the haystack. But on this one, it's okay. I'm just gonna do it like this because the character goes in very, very fast. So I'm not gonna worry about that. Again, disappearing a little bit. There we go. The animation is done. All right. Here's playback on this thing, and I'm gonna export it. I believe this is real time right now, so I'm gonna let it run for a couple of times. The timing for me is working right now. There are some characters that go behind the other ones, but I'll fix that a little bit later. And that is all. So we come to the conclusion of our proof. I'm happy with the result, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue with the plan that I have. The next video, I'm gonna explain to you guys which plan I'm talking about. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. Cheers, and see you next time.